How long do we have, y'all? I'm sorry, I missed that. I missed the instruction intro.
No worries. I think we determined that each of us will present 5 to 8 minutes or so, which should leave a few minutes for questions at the end. And we'll go in alphabetical order. So you'll end up being third and I'll present last.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Welcome to the National Catholic College Admission Association and Jesuit Education Tour Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Nashira and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/NCCAA. I'd now like to turn it over to our panelists who will discuss the benefits of attending college in or near a major metropolitan area.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Nashira. All right, as I am pulling up my screen, I just want to say thanks everyone so much for joining us today. We're glad that you're here to learn more about Catholic schools in major metropolitan areas, and I will kick us off. My name is Annie Mills, and I represent Depaul University from my home base in San Diego, California. I work primarily with students across the U.S., but really focused specifically on California. I know you're here to learn about what the college experience in a major city can look like, so I'll set the stage quickly with a Depaul overview and then share some more details about our 2 campuses in Chicago, how students acclimate to life in the city, and then our outcomes. So Depaul is a private Catholic institution right in the heart of Chicago, Illinois, with an undergraduate student body of about 14,500 students. So we clearly have a sizable student body. We're located in the 3rd largest US city. I encourage students to think of our size in terms of the number of resources you'll have access to and the size of your network. And in those ways, really the bigger the better. On the other hand, your academic experience at DePaul will be really personal and small by design, as we do have a primary mission of teaching and service. Our average class size at DePaul is 22, so you get to know your classmates and your faculty very well. Our student body at DePaul is very diverse and certainly reflects our community in Chicago and our global community as well. 40% of students come to DePaul from out of state, with California actually leading the way. 44% of our freshmen are students of color, and 35% of our freshmen are the first in their family to earn a college degree. We are a Catholic school with a lot of religious diversity as well. About 1/3 of our students, a little more than that, are Catholic, and we have students from over 40 different faith and non-faith backgrounds on campus. As a Vincentian institution, we really prepare all of our students to think and act with others in mind, using higher education as a means to engage cultural, social, religious, and ethical values in service to others. We challenge our students to ask the question, what must be done, and then prepare them to make a difference in their community as they answer that. So DePaul students split their time between 2 campuses in the city of Chicago. We have a campus in Lincoln Park, which we call our urban neighborhood campus, that has a little bit more of that traditional college feel. A quad, 11 residence halls, a student center, a big library. It's where you would definitely be most likely to see a student going to class in the typical college uniform of, DePaul hoodie. A 15-minute ride away on public transportation is our campus in Chicago's financial district, called our Loop campus. And here students are going to take elevators to class instead of walking across the quad, and you'd probably be a little more likely to see them going to class maybe in a blazer, coming straight from an internship, job shadowing, or informational interview somewhere in the city. On our Loop campus, you're about 1 block from all lines of the L, public transportation in Chicago. So access really to the entire city and the 2 major airports, whether you use those, use the L for networking purposes or trips home, is all right there. Almost all of our students are going to take classes on both campuses, meaning you kind of get to create your own experience in the city, and you'll be rubbing elbows with people who will be your mentors and your employers on a regular basis. Academically, our students pick from about 300 different programs, some of our most popular of which are housed in our College of Business and our conservatory-style programs in theater and music. Our science and health-focused degrees are very strong, and we have accelerated options for students interested in medical-related professions. And then our College of Computing and Digital Media is our fastest growing school at DePaul and is home to programs like film and television, animation, and game design. We do have quite a few honors options, as well as a university-wide program and specific honors programs for students in business and health sciences. And then we do have a School of Law at DePaul that many of our students will go on to, and some will take advantage of a 3+3 program where you can graduate with a bachelor's and a JD in 6 years instead of 7. If you're undecided or like a lot of things, I do like to stress that that's okay. We're double major and minor friendly across schools and colleges, and we embrace change. So as long as you're in good academic standing, you can change that major at any time. So Chicago is a really big part of our students' experience at DePaul, and to help them get used to the city, every freshman takes a seminar in their first quarter called the Chicago Quarter Class, where you'll go on site visits and explore Chicago using one of over 100 different topics as a lens. So you could take a class all about the Cubs, or crime and politics in Chicago, or improv in the city, or art and public sculpture. In that last class, you're going to go on group excursions. You're definitely going to go to the Bean, right? The most Instagrammed piece of public art in the city of Chicago. You're going to go to the Art Institute, but you're also going to get out of the loop and the Lincoln Park neighborhoods and explore murals in Pilsen and get to know how the history of that community impacts the experience of its residents and the art they create. That class is a really great way to explore new neighborhoods and learn how to use the LN buses to get to know resources on campus like our Writing Center, our Career Center, and our Center for Students with Disabilities. It really helps you get your kind of city legs under you, and sets a great precedent for getting out in Chicago early on in your first year. We are also very proud of our outcomes at DePaul. 6 months after graduation, about 91% of our students are employed or continuing their education. That is no accident and is due in large part to the fact that all of our students are required to do experiential learning in their junior year. That will look like an internship, a study abroad program, or an intensive community-based service learning project. And because our Career Center is very active on campus, at any point in time, even the first quarter you're a DePaul student, you can meet with a career advisor one-on-one to practice interview skills, explore a career community. If you're undecided or maybe just unsure of your major, you can meet and network with alumni through our Alumni Sharing Knowledge program, or connect with local employers who come to campus to actively recruit our students. Because our students are so immersed in Chicago day in and day out, it's really hard to ignore what happens after graduation, which is ideally you become one of the young professionals you've passed on the sidewalk, heading to the L, off to their great jobs all across the city. And you've done that so many times as a student, watch those people walk by. So our students are very supported and very skilled at preparing for life after DePaul. If any and all of this sounds interesting to you and you're a senior, we'd love to have you apply soon on the Common Application. We use a holistic application review process, which means we're going to look at your essay, resume, activity summary, letters of recommendation, in addition to your transcript and maybe your test score. We've been test optional for about 10 years for admission decisions, for academic merit-based scholarships, and for honors programs. So if you're considering DePaul, really feel free to think about how you want to highlight your own strengths in the application. If a test score doesn't reflect who you are as a student, or maybe you don't have one, that's no problem. Seniors really do keep our non-binding early action deadline of November 15th in mind, as all of our early applicants will receive a decision from us by December 15th. There are so many different ways to connect with DePaul right now, both in person and virtually, and there's honestly a lot more to tell you than what I covered here. I barely even mentioned housing options in the city, study abroad, or the volunteer work our students do throughout Chicago. So I'll drop my information in the chat. Definitely reach out to me and let me know what would help you as you consider DePaul among your school choices in the city. I look forward to working with you over the coming year. That's all for us, and I think I am passing it off to Bryce with LaSalle. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to share my screen. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another virtual college fair. My name is Bryce. I'm the Associate Director of Recruitment at LaSalle. And today we're going to be talking about LaSalle in where its location is. So we always say that at LaSalle, Philadelphia is our classroom and our playground. Before we get started, I think it's important to note LaSalle was founded in 1863 by the Christian Brothers, and I always start with this because their mission in life was education. So there is over 1,000 Lasallian teaching institutions in 82 countries worldwide. A lot of these Lasallian schools are in cities, which is so wonderful because the Christian Brothers wanted to give education to people back in the day who couldn't afford education. And so they went to the cities and really, put their focus on cities. So it's kind of what we're all about, which is really cool. So as I said, Philly is our largest classroom at LaSalle. So it is the 6th largest city in the nation, brimming with opportunity. And our students definitely utilize the city for internships, for just, general experiences. I always like to say that Philly is the best city for a college student. I know we have a lot of cities here and everyone probably agrees that they're the best city for a college student, but it really is an awesome experience being a college student in Philly. The history of our country started in Philly. We are home to the Philadelphia Eagles, however you feel about them. Philly fans are definitely fun, that's for sure. And then there's plenty of entertainment venues, and Campus Philly is an organization that designs different activities and opportunities for students within the city of Philly. So that can be discounts, special college events, the list goes on and on, but we really, really utilize the city. So I'm going to go through how the city kind of plays a role in all of our different schools. So LaSalle is made up of the School of Business, the School of Nursing and Health Sciences, and the School of Arts and Sciences. So I'm going to start over with the School of Business. The School of Business is really into networking and relationship building and experiential learning. So they really utilize everything that the city has to offer with that. If you look behind me, this is what our campus looks like. You would never think that we're in Philadelphia, but we are right next to the Broad Street line, which is our subway that can take you all the way throughout Philly and can take you, into Center City within 10 minutes. So it's a very accessible campus. Another important thing to note is our Business Scholars Co-op program. So this is one of our specialty programs in our School of Business that particularly students in this program get to do 2 different co-op experiences during their time at LaSalle. So they get a job, they're working for a corporation for a semester, they're working full-time, they're getting credits, they're getting paid, and they're not taking classes during that time. A lot of times students will then go on to work at those co-op experiences that they got. And just to name a few, the Philadelphia Zoo, Johnson Johnson, Kraft, Federal Reserve Bank of Philly, Vanguard, are some of the really notable programs or corporations that our students have gotten involved with. Next, we have the School of Arts and Sciences. So Philly is the top 10 media market. It has 4 major sports teams, generates nationally read newspapers and magazines, and is home to countless TV and radio stations. So our students, really, we've had plenty of newscasters go on and have careers in Philadelphia. There's plenty of public relations firms and things like that. I was a comm student, so I always go to that. But just in general, opportunities for education in the School of Arts and Sciences. Our students have the opportunity to experience all the different types of school systems that are within Philly. So we have Philly Public, we have charter, we have magnet schools, we have private schools, we have Catholic schools. The list goes on and on. So our education students really get to experience that. But yeah, internships galore is really something that you'll find here. And with the School of Arts and Sciences, that's how we utilize the city as well. All right, so next we have the School of Nursing and Health Sciences. So these students definitely are, very immersed in the Philadelphia healthcare scene. So our nursing students, they'll start their clinical experiences first semester, sophomore year. So they have all these different clinicals in all the different healthcare facilities and major hospitals in Philly. So that's CHOP, Jefferson, Einstein, UPenn, the list goes on. But our students really, really get that hands-on experience. And that's thanks to our location that they can easily get around and make the most out of, being in the city. Next, we have living in Philly. So we have guaranteed on-campus housing for all 4 years if you choose to live on campus. That is not a problem. It is guaranteed. Like I've been mentioning, we're conveniently located near public transportation. And then we also offer living learning communities in our housing, in our residence halls. So living learning communities are different communities within LaSalle that have to do with different topics that you might be interested in. So we have cultural exploration and diversity, theater and arts, animal advocacy, wellness and mindful living, and all those RAs for those floors will really, take students. They have a special budget for our theater arts students. They'll go out into the arts district and they'll see a play. Yeah, there's a lot. There's definitely plenty to do, and being a part of this community really gives you that access for utilizing that. Great, so that's pretty much it for me. Our freshman application, as you know, is open. November 1st is our early action deadline. We are a completely free application, so it doesn't hurt to apply. We're completely free. We're on Common App. If you get in your application by November 1st, you'll find out your admission decision by November 17th. So definitely get that in. And my name is Bryce. I'll put my email in the chat, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, you'd think I'd have the technology down by now, but we do not. Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Duffy. I'm our senior admissions counselor at Seattle University. And let me just pull up the slides here. All right. Awesome. So Seattle University is a Jesuit university located in the heart of the city of Seattle. We will talk a lot about living in an urban environment, just as my colleagues on here have. But some of the key things that you need to know about going to school at Seattle U is that we have about 7,000 students on our campus. That's undergraduate, graduate, and law students, because we also have a law program on our campus. 4,700 is a good number to start from when you think about kind of building your community on campus, finding your family, you're finding your friends. You have everything the city has to offer you, but it's a little bit of a less intimidating number to start from when we think about just building your community. 100% of our courses are taught by faculty. You're never going to have a grad student or some very lovely but random TA teaching a class. It will always 100% be a professor. Our average class size only 18, and student to faculty ratio is 11:1. Super key, because you know that you're going to get that one-on-one communication with your professor. A lot of our professors have been professionals within their field, not just within Seattle, but beyond that. So it really pays to create a good relationship with them. Many of our students have been able to participate in research or obtained a job or an internship based off of the communication that they have with their professor. Benefit there, your professional network, their professional network becomes your professional network, and vice versa, which is incredible. Our average size of our incoming class is right around 900 or 930, varies a little bit. This last year we were right around 1050. Again, smaller, but a great number to start from in community building. Our middle 50 of GPA acceptances are between a 3.4 and a 3.9. Like it's been said already, we review holistically, and I'll chat about what that actually looks like in just a moment. But basically, I'm not just laser focused on your GPA. We have students that we accept below a 3.4 and then also, of course, above a 3.9. We're test optional, completely test optional. We don't use test scores to review for scholarship, and we don't use test scores to review students' applications to be directly entered into programs at Seattle U either. I've been telling students that the best way to understand it is if you explicitly ask me to utilize your test scores in your application, I will look at them. But if you do not, and you do not wish to send test scores, you will not be penalized in any way. All the programs on Seattle U's campus are direct entry programs. That includes our nursing program, business, and all of the sciences. Huge benefit to all of you as students. Just going to save you a little bit of time. You don't have to apply to the university. knock out prerequisites and then reapply to be a part of your program. At Seattle U, you start taking courses within your major right away, which just saves you a lot of time. And then you know that if you really like that program, you can continue. And if you don't, you can switch out, which is really beneficial for you. We have a really unique core curriculum at Seattle U as well. They're modeled around critical thinking and inquiry, and all of them are designed specifically by our faculty members around some of the most thought-provoking issues within their disciplines. So you can take anything from like chemistry class called Potions for Muggles. You can take art for social change. You can take history of pandemics. You can take a fundraising course as a math credit. So regardless of what your major is, you can really find something that is within our core courses that are required that really is tailored to what you want to be learning about. Pre-professional advising is for all of our students who are interested in any form of continuing education. That's pre-med, pre-vet, pre-dental. We provide students with a secondary advisor to make sure that their resume is nice and fine-tuned. They do mock one-on-one interviews, mock panel interviews, just make sure that students are creating the most competitive application possible. The person who runs that office, Dr. Pizdral, is incredible, and they have some wild connections, not just within the city of Seattle, but nationally as well. Pre-major advisings for all of our students who have no idea what they want to study. Don't be scared if you don't. A pre-major advisor comes into Seattle U and gets kind of like a tasting menu of different courses that they might be interested in, as well as a little bit longer amount of time with a specific pre-major advisor to chat about what might be a sustainable career path for them. You can see some of our most popular majors on the side here. Nursing programs. Seattle U's campus is located between 3 Trauma One hospitals in the city. One of those hospitals donated an entire floor to Seattle U that we use as a mock hospital floor. We have some simulation dummies in there that cry and sweat and bleed and give birth and do all that crazy stuff that our nursing majors get to experience before being in an actual setting. We start students in our clinical rotations within nursing at the end of their sophomore year. So really going to start getting in those hospitals soon. I would also add our business school to this popular majors. The Albers School of Business is ranked in the top 5% of business schools up and down the West Coast. Every student in the business school gets both a peer and professional mentor. That professional mentor your junior and senior year can be vital when it comes to kind of creating what you want your career opportunities to look like. They can give really good advice and sometimes a really good position. We just created a brand new Center for Science and Innovation on our campus. Absolutely stunning building, new home for all of our biology, chemistry, computer science, and engineering majors. Microsoft donated $2 million for us to put some cutting edge tech in there. We have everything from like a 3D printer to a bunch of really cool AI and VR materials, lots of new maker spaces, just a really incredible opportunity for all of those sciences. This is the city of Seattle. If you haven't been, come hang out with me. It is an incredible place to be. Not only do you have access to a wild variety of different jobs and internships and all of the small companies that no one's ever heard about, like Amazon, Boeing, Microsoft, Zillow, PACCAR, Nordstrom, Starbucks, Nintendo, the list goes on and on and on. But also you have access to this incredible community that Seattle U has created in Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is the arts district in the city. So not only are we a tech hub, but we're also the home of incredible art. We've got great grunge scene and music, a really cool theater and film scene as well. It's much cheaper to film in Seattle than it is in California. So we've got some really cool indie films being filmed all the time. I like to highlight while we're kind of looking at this slide that 4 out of 5 of our students are participating in some form of service learning project or community service. And that's not something that we force our students to do. That's something that they choose to do of their own accord. It's very important to me because I'm from Seattle. Seattle is my home, and I want to make sure I'm with and for a group of people that are not just taking up space in a city, but that we're really affecting positive change in our community. That's absolutely something that I see us doing. We have a 2-year live-in requirement on campus, and it's guaranteed for students. You know, you don't have to sprint up to Seattle to hunt for housing. It's guaranteed for you. Like I said, we are a Jesuit university. The 2 things you're going to get out of a Jesuit education is an excellence in academics and also a passion for social justice. I already talked a little bit about our network. We have 81,000 alumni that you will be able to tap into in your professional network, as well as a really incredible career services office. We place students in jobs, internships, and next level of education with a 94% success rate within 5 months of graduation, which is a pretty strong number for us there. Here's some of our clubs on campus. We have 120 different clubs and organizations, very easy to create your own. Happy to chat with you more about any and all of those. I already talked about that Center for Community Engagement where students can find those volunteer opportunities, but there's a wide variety of different offices on campus to help students find what they are really passionate about. These are all the different things that I'm looking for in a student application, everything from academic rigor to prerequisites. Prerequisites are just things that make a student's application look more competitive. Those last 3 blocks there, leadership activities, essays, and letters of recommendation are all sections in the common application because we are common application exclusive. The application fee is $60, but no, it is not because presumably you attend a Catholic high school and we have a fee waiver for students who attend a Catholic high school. So happy to provide all of you with that. And with that, I will go ahead and leave this QR code here for a moment and then also attach my information in the chat box here. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it.
All right, we're headed to Austin now. I'm Margo Sweeney. I'm an admission counselor here at St. Edward's University, located right in Austin, which is a really fun city to be for your undergrad and really generally. Perhaps you've had the chance to visit or maybe you've traveled for work. Either way, something to consider as you apply to St. Edward's University. So this is an overview of our university. We serve a little bit under 3,000 undergraduate students. We also have graduate programs, but today we'll highlight kind of the undergraduate experience. An average class size of 18 and a student to faculty ratio of 15:1. So students, you will get to know your professor and that professor is excited to get to know you, your strengths, your passions, your interests. And that's quite key as you start tapping into this awesome city and all of the opportunities that that can allow you. If you are an athlete, we have our Division II teams as well as our club sports. Campus is incredibly green. It is secluded. It is a distinct campus in the city of Austin. You'll see by my virtual background, it is quite green, which is quite nice. So also quite a focus on sustainability on our campus, which is something that kind of ties into Austin as well with the beautiful green spaces and lakes nearby, which I'll show you in a little bit. There are over 50 areas of study for you to select from as you pursue your academic experience at St. Edward's. If you know what that is as you move through the application process, great. If you're not quite sure, there's time to figure it out. You will apply to the university as a whole, not a specific school or program. But as Austin has a lot to offer, so do our majors. We're in the capital city, so students interested in political science can find some neat opportunities there. Clearly business, film and TV, the food industry, hospitality, healthcare, and so on. So clearly a lot of interest and, happy to hear what yours are. We can chat more about that later. We students come from all over the US and all over the globe, just like people do as they seek to come to Austin for fun or work or just their general life. That's the case on our campus with an incredibly diverse student body. You'll see that we have 34 faith traditions represented on our campus. So we are a Catholic university founded by the Congregation of the Holy Cross, but space and support for students of all backgrounds and experiences and perspectives to kind of find their own little community on the hilltop and a lot of support and a welcoming experience for them as well. This is a bird's eye view of our campus and just how close we are to downtown. You'll see that we're only 3 miles away. If you've been to Austin or heard about Austin, you might be familiar with South Congress Avenue. We are located right on South Congress Avenue. It's a pretty short drive to Town Lake and downtown, but really there's a lot to explore in between, lots of shops, restaurants, and otherwise. Town Lake is a great place. You'll see that closely in just a moment for kayaking and paddleboarding. But a lot of opportunities for jobs and internships or just exploring this awesome city for students in between our campus and downtown. And downtown and the opportunities that come with it can expand well beyond this little picture. So there's a lot to enjoy about our city. To that, Austin can be defined as a big city with a small town feel. So to that, there are a lot of opportunities for students to navigate and to take on. By getting to know those professors and the various support offices on our campus, you get to find that pretty readily. You first meet a success coach as you find your way to the hilltop. They'll help you outline your course schedule and general degree plan, but they are the ones that you're talking with as you wonder, what is your major, what's your minor, what makes sense is which, do you want to add another, how do you combine them, how do you pursue other opportunities like research, tapping into the Career and Professional Development Office, committing, doing some service and kind of committing some of your time to that. They are there as you really define what success means to you on the Hilltop and how you can go about navigating that. A little bit later, you have a faculty advisor, but you really have a whole team depending on which offices you go to for some support and resources. But like I said, Austin is a big city with a small town feel. So as you develop that team, they're going to help you navigate this city and all of the opportunities that you can take on by being here. You'll see these students strolling on South Congress, or the photo below, hanging out at the Greenbelt. So very much an urban environment, but lots of greenery and outdoor spaces to enjoy. Perhaps you like kayaking, like I mentioned before, boating, wake surfing, wakeboarding, skiing, hiking, rock climbing. There's space to explore a lot of that and more. It is a relaxing yet bustling city, rich in tradition yet eclectic. So you might have heard that term, keep Boston weird. There's a lot going on for students. As I started to reference, we're known for quite a lot: creativity, technology, live music, of course. ACL just occurred a couple weeks ago, the state capitol, health and fitness, and so on. So as students seek to take on experiences, there's a lot of them that they can find and a lot of people to help them find the ones that suit them best. This is kind of a bridge over Town Lake. So you'll see people can run or kind of walk on this space. And the loop that they are connected to is a 10+ mile loop right on the edge of Town Lake. So a really neat space in the city and so close to all of those downtown skyscrapers and other green areas. As this slide indicates, St. Edwards has been recognized, or rather Austin has been recognized as the best place to live, and St. Edwards is in the heart of that, and so comes with a lot of opportunities. There are so many companies that have offices here, are moving here. There have been some recent headlines about that. So as you think about what makes sense for you or kind of what you're interested in, again, there are a lot of options for you to seek out. As this image, as these images also highlight, it's an incredibly sunny city. It's quite warm for a good amount of the year, with an average of 300 days of sunshine. The urban trails offer a lot of opportunities in terms of hiking, biking, walking, running, and so on. More about Austin, and this shows you just a little bit more of Town Lake. Austin is the 10th largest city with over 1 million residents, so quite a network you could be building for yourself and plenty of people to get to know. Austin certainly offers world-class opportunities. Our students really do take on a tremendous amount of opportunities. You'll see that 90% of our students complete internships before graduation, and 90% of our Hilltoppers engage in experiential learning. So they're diving into graduate level research, they're presenting those findings at national conferences, they're building their network through internships and their skills, which can go beyond this city, but certainly a lot to offer here in this space. They participate in local, national, and international service experiences. So they're giving back to that community and certainly just connecting with mentors, new perspectives, and endless possibilities. Here are some snapshots of Austin. These two students are actually alumni, so they've created their own band, which has gotten some recognition. Of course, the Capitol, which I mentioned earlier, so students often find opportunities in the classrooms, go to this space, and then also internships that they might take on as well. St. Edwards has built partnerships with some of Austin's biggest names in business and most respected nonprofits as well. So again, internships, networking, mentorship, and jobs as well. Austin provides opportunities with Fortune 500s, high-tech giants, the Texas state legislature, national healthcare networks, film and music studios, leading financial services, and startups and more. So a lot of neat opportunities and a network that you could build for yourself, or really a foundation if you think this might be a city for you long-term. Here, this image shows more of Austin, more of Town Lake, which we showed a little bit ago, these bridges that you saw some images of, and then Zilker Park and nearby green areas as well. So lots to explore just in those sunny afternoons and on the weekends, and then plenty of professional development opportunities as well as you seek to be prepared for what's to come after this experience. To that, we hope to talk with you more about the experience you're seeking and if St. Edwards is going to be a good fit for you. So don't hesitate to contact our office at the email you see below. If you're seeking additional ways to engage with us virtually, we have virtual visit opportunities. We have a lot of webinars coming up. Some relate to specific academic programs, and furthermore, the benefit of being here in Austin and on the Hilltop for your undergraduate experience. But I know we'll also leave some time for some Q&A in this presentation. So don't hesitate to let us know what's on your mind right now, and we'll talk to you again soon, we hope.
Annie, it looks like you're
Oh,
talking.
Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yes.
There we go. Thanks. Okay, thanks everybody for being with us and hearing more about our schools. If you have any questions, please do put them in the Q&A, and we will be here to help out. Otherwise, thanks so much for joining us, and take advantage of these recorded sessions and catch up on some of the other topics that you missed. And I think there's another round of presentations on Wednesday, Thursday, later this week. So lots of exciting stuff happening, but we'll stick around for a couple more minutes to see if things come in on the Q&A. But otherwise, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Annie. You actually took a lot of what I was going to say, so and that's okay. I'll do the closing as we continue to wait on any questions, and feel free definitely to ask your questions as they can continue to navigate that despite my closing. But I wanted to thank you all for joining us and thank the panelists as well. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. We also encourage you to sign up for more sessions that are on, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, on Thursday, yes. To sign up for additional sessions on Thursday. You'll be able to find this sessions recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/NCCAA. Thank you again, and we'll give it 1 minute before we close completely out.
Time for me to travel to some new cities after watching all those presentations, y'all. That was great.
All right, y'all, I think we can close out. Y'all have a good one. Bye.